All right, so it's been roughly 90 days since I bought this, the Apple Vision Pro. It's my most expensive Apple product ever. But was it worth it? Absolutely. But does it have some things that it actually needs to improve? Absolutely. All right, so it's no secret that the hype for the Apple Vision Pro has cooled off a little bit. This was actually a new category for Apple, a whole new product, almost a whole new genre of headsets. So yes, it is something that was going to generate hype, but now that people have it in their hands, they're able to use it, get used to the new technology. The hype has died down a little bit. And there's some things that Apple 100% needs to actually build on for it to be actually take off to another level. Same thing with the iPhone. At first it was cool, everyone talked about it, it was crazy at first, but then when it got in people's hands, I mean, they were still amazed with the technology, but they were only left with what can Apple do to improve this to actually make it worldwide and more accessible. And that's what I want to talk about because don't get me wrong, the Apple Vision Pro is probably the best tech device that I've purchased in a very long time. I actually want to see it grow. I actually want to see more and more people use it. I think the only thing that's stopping people from getting this is simply the price. I don't think that Apple is actually worried about the price right now. They're just worried about making the technology actually good. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about right now. How can Apple improve the Apple Vision Pro and make it more accessible, more fun to use, and just a better device in general? The first thing I want to talk about in regards to the Apple Vision Pro that Apple might need to fix, change, or improve is the environments. Hear me out. I know that Apple has very good looking environments. My favorite is the Halakala, I think that's how you pronounce it, and the Joshua Tree and the Mount Hood. Those are my favorite environments. But Apple needs more. I feel like the environments should be like your wallpapers for your phone. It's one of the best features with the Apple Vision Pro, and I love to be in an environment. But the issue here is that the only environments that are available are the ones that Apple decides to be available. And this is the same problem that we have with the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch has watch faces that you can put on your watch and you can have different types of watch faces. But it's fairly simple and very easy to make watch faces. So Apple can come out with a bunch of them every time they want. So Apple might not feel the need to have watch faces be available for third-party vendors to make and sell watch faces. Sure, you can have certain environments within certain apps, like for example, Disney Plus. You can be on Tatooine, you can be on Monster Inc., I think the Monster Inc. facility, but you can only use those environments within those apps and you can't actually purchase them third party and use other apps with those environments. So I would actually suggest that Apple has a section in the App Store that allows you to purchase certain environments. So if I want to be in Tatooine, but don't want to use Disney Plus and I just want to be in that environment, then Disney should be able to sell it and I should be able to buy it so I can use other apps in that environment. But right now, it looks like you can only use third-party environments within certain apps, but only Apple's environments allow you to use different apps. And I think that's a mistake. I think Apple should open it up environments and they should really be like the wallpaper to your Apple Vision Pro because the world is technically your oyster with the Apple Vision Pro and the environments are technically your wallpapers. So Apple open up the environments, make it more accessible, make it cross-app compatible, and this is going to change the game because I love to be in an environment, but if we could have multiple environments available to us, that would be amazing. So one thing that I mentioned earlier was for Apple to have a place for the environments to be available on the App Store for us to buy or download. And that's my next point, is that the App Store for the Apple Vision Pro is absolutely horrible. I mean, I barely want to use the App Store. Even if there's an app I know I need or want to download, I just dread going through the App Store. First of all, there's only three sections. The first section is just an Apple curated app list. I know that the apps for the Apple Vision Pro are limited because it's a new product, but still, just have different sections. Apple just has one curated section for all apps. And within that curated section, you're gonna dig through different categories of apps. The other section is specifically an Apple Arcade section, which is all the apps or all the games for the Apple Arcade, but no other section just for games general. No non-Apple Arcade games. All of them are all Apple Arcade. And the third section is just a search. So if you just want to browse through certain apps and if Apple doesn't curate it or if it's not an Apple Arcade, you're not going to see it. You're going to have to actually search for it and you're going to need to know what exactly you're looking for. Contrary to the iPhone App Store or the Apple Watch App Store, it's very easy to find a lot of different apps because it's categorized in different sections, different categories, different type of apps, the hot app of the week, maybe a list of top downloaded apps, the most popular apps, all those different things are available on all those different app stores. But for the Apple Vision Pro, it's really hard to find new apps unless Apple wants you to see that app. Apple wants you to see whatever new app is available. Trust me, you are going to see it. Then if you have an app that you know you want to download and Apple is not really promoting it, you're going to have to search it yourself. And even that sometimes is hard, is a challenge. So I would want Apple to actually revamp the whole App Store. I know it's new. I know it's just been 3 months with the Apple Vision Pro, but please, the App Store should have been a big priority. And I feel like Apple dropped the ball with this one. It was very, very last minute. Literally only three sections. And one of those sections are useless if you do not have Apple Arcade. So yes, Apple, please fix the App Store and stop promoting boring random apps. I mean, the Apple Vision Pro is new, but there's a lot of boring, stupid apps right now, and Apple are promoting those apps. So I think that they should really stop, revamp the App Store, have new apps, and try and put those apps in those respective categories. But yeah, right now, the App Store is absolutely horrible. All right, so the next part of my wish list has to do a little bit more with gaming. So I did talk about how Apple has a whole section in the App Store dedicated for the Apple Arcade games. But there's a piece missing here. So the Apple Arcade games have mixed reality games where you can play in your real environment, but they also have 2D games where you can put a big screen up in the air and just play your game like that. But the only thing missing now is virtual reality games. I know Apple doesn't market this as a virtual reality headset. They more so market this as a spatial computer, but the spatial computer has virtual reality aspects. I mean, when you're in an environment, you are in a virtual reality world. So the fact that virtual reality games should be on the Apple Vision Pro isn't much of a stretch. I mean, have apps be able to be downloaded on the App Store natively would be amazing. I mean, it would be easy for people to download real environmental apps. It would be a good tech demo. The Apple Vision Pro has two 4K screens, one on each eye. You can have the crispier virtual reality games, the better looking, the better feeling, the better moving virtual reality games. So I don't know why Apple isn't really focusing on having virtual reality games available on the App Store. And I do know that there are different workarounds to download virtual reality games on the Apple Vision Pro. I want it to be very easy to download, very easy to use, and very much accessible. But right now, it doesn't look like it's the case. The actual games that are made for the Apple Vision Pro, they're all locked behind Apple Arcade. I mean, if you want to play games here and there, I'd say it's worth it, but still. VR games would actually demonstrate how much of a beast this thing is. And it's not something that Apple cannot do. So having virtual reality apps native on the Apple Vision Pro would be amazing. All right, so this next point has to be, I'll consider it a pet peeve. So yeah, the next point I have that I want Apple to fix in my wish list is the fact that we only have one source audio channels. I mean, for example, if I want to play one of my videos right here, and let's say I just play a video, the video is playing, you can hear the audio. But if I want to play music in the background, it's automatically going to pause my video and play the music. But then if I go and play the video, it automatically stops the music, but plays the video. So that's my issue. I mean, for an Apple device that allows you to actually have multiple apps out and about, I would like to see more audio sources. Like I can open Apple TV over here. I can open Disney Plus over here. I mean, I can open the IMAX app over here. I can open a bunch of different apps all about. It should allow me to actually have these different apps play all the audio sources available, but it doesn't look like that's the case. Like, it just seems like Apple wants you to focus on one thing, but it's kind of opposite of what the Apple Vision Pro is supposed to be. I understand too many audio sources could be hard to relocate and stop the music or stop the video if you're trying to look for a specific app that has audio coming from one specific app, but it doesn't seem to be a challenge. Apple can actually figure out a way for someone to actually know what app is making what sound and either stop the music or stop the audio from that app and just have other apps play music or video or any type of audio at the same time. So yes, Apple, please add multiple audio sources to the Apple Vision Pro. I hope this is just a software problem that they can update and fix. But if not, then it's actually going to be very much of a bummer because this is supposed to be a multitasking device, but doesn't seem to want you to multitask when you're having audio coming out of different apps. So Apple, please fix this. Please. Those are my wish list options for the Apple Vision Pro. WWDC is coming up very soon. I mean, we're just about a month and a half away from WWDC, so we might see some Vision Pro updates. I mean, we have two types of updates that we might get at WWDC. Either updates that will please the consumer, maybe quality of life updates for the Apple Vision Pro, or significant development updates for app development and game development for the Apple Vision Pro that might please the developers. But consumers will not feel those effects maybe a year or a year and a half from then. So we can either be very, very excited for consumers after WWDC, or consumers might just be bored with the updates and not really see any big significant improvements. But Apple has already done a lot of updates to the Apple Vision Pro without a huge number increase. I mean, with the multiple personas in a shared environment, that came out with Vision OS 1.2. So that's a big update. I mean, we didn't have to wait for a 2.0 for that, but who knows? Maybe we'll see more things with Vision OS 2.0, or maybe we might not see anything more for consumers and everything will just be back-end stuff for developers. We're very, very close to WWDC. I will be live streaming it, so if you guys want to watch me watch it, make sure to stay subscribed, like the video. I do have other Apple Vision Pro videos, so if you guys want to watch those, look at the channel and watch my other YouTube videos. But yeah, see you guys on another video. Peace.